X. Then I will check for the match. See how the code goes. Firstly, now here we will be using two list operations. Okay, first and rest. So every time, why we are using this, we are going to cut down the second list into smaller components. Like every time we see that, okay, some element in L2 is smaller than the element in L1 for which I am checking currently, then I can remove that element from L2. Okay. So I will keep on taking out elements from the L2 list. See, in this procedure, now this find overlap procedure, same thing it is doing, but now I am considering lists as sorted and I will not start the inner iteration from the beginning for every element. So first I have initialized the overlap list. It is empty. Next, you will check whether the length of the list 2 is 0. That is, whether there are any elements in list 2 as well. If there are no elements, then there is no point in continuing the code, right? Continuing the execution of the program, because there is nothing to compare with. So you will simply return the overlap list. That is the empty list you will return. But if the length of list 2 is greater than 0, then you will come to the else part. What you will do first, in this y variable, you are going to take the first element out of list 2. So in our example, let's write them here also. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is the first list. And second one was 2, 5, 6, 9, 10. Okay. So these are both sorted, correct? So tell me, length of list 2 is what? 5. That means this if block I will not enter. I will go to the else part. So for the first iteration, what is y?
Ma'am, 2.
2. First of L2, that is 2.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Now, in L2, we are going to store rest of L2. That means I have picked out the first element. Now the rest of the list I will store in L2. So now when I go through L2, or if I want to traverse L2, then I will not find 2 anymore. It will start from 5,
5.
6, 9, 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is L2 now. Now come here. For each X in L1, now you pick the first element, 2. Now you check while y is less than X. So here is y less than X. This is the X. X is 2 currently. So first condition only failed. That means next condition I don't even need to check because this is AND. That means this whole thing is wrong. This is false. While condition is false. So I won't enter the while block. I will come to this statement directly. If X equals to Y. So that is true. Both are 2. So there is a match. So add it to overlap list. Now go to the next element again. Okay. See. Where is this for each block and where is this while block ending first? This while is ending here, and this outer for each, this is ending where? Here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So next time you are picking an element for each X in L1. Now this is the X, right? 4. So tell me, is 4 less than X?
No.
I mean, it's greater than X.
I'm sorry. X is 4, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we are starting with 5. But there should be one more thing here. Wait.
Y is
Do I
still,
need to
Okay,
go
ma'am,
back
L2
here?
is not sorted. Oh,
Y
no.
is still 2.
No, L2 is sorted. Ascending order, see.
Y is still 2. X is 4.
Just a second.
Ma'am, what's the third element of L2? Is it 4?
Which element?
6.
No, it's 6, sorry.
It's 6, okay.
It's
No,
6.
I thought it's 4.
Okay. All right. So this iteration, I found that there is a match. Now, again, we are going to come to the next next element in for each is going to pick what? 4. Now, X is 4 here. So while Y is less than X, Y is still 2. Okay. Y is still 2. So Y less than X is correct.
Y is still 2, ma'am.
Because I haven't updated it to the next element in L2 list, right? We are checking now for the next element in L1. But y isn't, is y updated anywhere here? Y was updated last here, right? But we are at this for each block. So y is still 2. So y less than x. So 2 less than 4. So this condition is okay. Now check the next condition. Length of L2, is it greater than 0? What is the length of L2? This one? 4.
4, yeah.
So greater than 0. So I will enter the while block. Okay. Now see, y is equal to first of L2. Now you're taking this element out of L2. This. I am not even going to check for 2. Why? Because I already know that it is less. So there is no possibility of finding a match. So I will take the next element out of L2, which is 5. So now y is what? Now y is 5. Okay. This is done. Now y is 5. And L2 is what? Rest of L2. So the new L2 is what? 6, 9, 10. Okay. Now come here. Again check, is the y, current y, less than x? Is 5 less than 4?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So no entering the while block. I will come to this part. Is x equal to y? That is also not true. Okay. So what will I do? Nothing. I won't add it to the overlap list. Nothing. I will go to the next iteration in this for each block. So now what is x? What is the next x?
4.
6.
6.
No, I already checked for 4 now. Now it's
Oh.
6.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So y is still 5. Right? So while 5 is less than 6. Correct?
Yes,
Next,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
length of L2,
Yes, ma'am.
3, which is greater than 0. So I will
Yes,
come to the
ma'am.
while block again. Now again I will update y. Y is now what? First of L2, that is 6. Right? So y is now 6. And L2 is what? Take 6 out. So 9 and 10. Okay. Now check. Again for the next iteration. Here, check, is the y, current y, less than x? So is 6 less than 6? No.
No, ma'am.
So I will come to this. If is x equal to y? Yes. Both
Yes,
are
ma'am.
6. So I'm going to add it to this overlap list. So overlap list now has what? 2 and 6. Okay. Now go for the next iteration. So what is the next element in L1? 8. Okay. Now for 8, while y less than x, what is y at this point? 6.
6.
I haven't updated y yet, right? Y is still 6. So 6 is less than 8. Fine. Length of L2 is what? 2. That is greater than 0. So enter here. Now y is what? First of L2. That is 9. And what is L2? Take 9 out, just 10. So what is the length now? 1.
1.
Okay. So now let's check again. So for this y, is this condition true? Y less than x? Is 9 less than 8?
No, ma'am.
So I will go to this if block. Is 9 equal to 8? No. So again, I won't add it to the overlap list. Where will I go? Again, for the next element in L1. What is the next element? 10. Okay. What is y at this point?
9.
9. So is 9 less than 10? Yes. Is length of L2 greater than 0?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
It is 1.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
both of these conditions are true. So again, now you go and change y to, what will y be now? 10.
10.
And L2 is what? Rest of L2. That means if I take 10 out, L2 now has
0.
no elements. It is empty.
No element 5.
No, no, 5.
Okay. So what will I do? Now check in the while loop. Is y less than x? So currently y is 10 and x is also 10. That means no. So I will come here. If block, is x equal to y? Yes. So add it to overlap list. So now overlap list contains
2,
2,
6,
6 and 10. Now after that, again, if they ask you to go to the next iteration for each x in L1, are there any more elements in L1 left?
No, ma'am.
No,
So
ma'am.
it has concluded. So I will directly come to this step and return the overlap list. Is
Ma'am,
this clear?
if length of L1 and L2 are different, it
Sorry,
is
sorry.
possible. Length of L1 and L2 are different. It is possible.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Then what we do?
if length of the same procedure will run, but obviously see if length of L2 is less than say L1, maybe L1 has 5 elements and L2 has 4 elements. In that case, what will happen? This length of L2, this part, length of L2 is greater than 0. So here it will run out one step sooner, right? That means before I can check with the last element. See, okay,
Yes,
let's take this with an example. I'll take a smaller list. Okay, I'll take just 3 and 4 elements. Or we can even take 2 and 3 elements. See, in L1, let's say we have 2 and 4. I'm sorry. Let's take L1 as the bigger list. So 2, 4, 6 maybe. You can take anything. L2 is what?
Two,
Let's
five,
say
and seven.
2 and 5. Okay. Now for these two lists, what will happen? See, firstly, again, overlap list you initialize. Length of L2, is it 0? No, it's 2. So come to the else part. Y is first of L2. So what is Y for first iteration? 2. What is L2 after that? Just 5. Rest of L2. Right? Now come to the for each block. What is the first X you pick? 2. So is 2 less than 2? No.
No, ma'am.
So come here. Is 2 equal to 2? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So add it to overlap. Now in next iteration, for each block, you're going to pick the next X, which is 4. Okay. So is Y is still 2? So is 2 less than 4? Yes. What is the length of L2 right now? 1. Is 1 greater than 0? Yes. So both conditions satisfy. Now I will update Y. Now Y is what?
Ma'am, how we
5.
did 1 greater than 0? Can you explain?
Sorry?
Ma'am, how we did 1 greater than 0? I didn't understand that.
No. This length of L2, na? What is the length? What is L2 containing right now? Just
5.
5.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the length of L2? 1.
1.
So 1 is greater than 0.
Yes, ma'am.
So both these conditions are satisfied in the while block. So I will enter the while. Right. Now I will update Y. What is the latest Y now? First of L2. L2 only has one element. So Y will be 5. And now L2 is containing rest of L2. If I remove 5, L2 is now empty. So length
Yes,
is
ma'am.
0. Okay. So now you again check. Is Y less than X? What is our X? X is 4. Is 5 less than 4? No. So you come here to this if block. Is 5 equal to 4? No. So nothing will happen. I will go for the next iteration here. So pick the next element, which is 6. Right? So first condition in while loop is what? Is 5 less than 6? Yes. But is length of L2 greater than 0?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
That means it won't work. It will just end here. Okay. Because if this is wrong, then you come to this if and you will check with the previous Y only, which again, it won't do anything. So the execution will stop as soon as I run out of elements in L2 because this condition will become false. See, L1 and L2 can be of any length. There is no such constraint given to you. Okay. So you can take any length list. This pseudocode will work for it. L1 can be smaller than L2, then also it will work. Okay. You can take more examples and run. Is
Ma'am,
this
I have a
pseudocode
doubt.
clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I have a doubt
Ask.
that if we use the first function, first L2 function, for example, and the L2 list is empty, then we will get an error.
Empty list, there is no element to pick, na?
Yes, ma'am.
It
Then
will
we
not
will
pick
get an error.
anything. Yeah, it will not pick anything.
So we will get an error if we.
Yes. You cannot use list operations on an empty list.
X is greater than Y, then also we take another element of Y.
Are you asking something? Okay. So any more questions from this procedure?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Everyone clear, right? Why we are doing this? Why this step we are doing this whole thing? To reduce the number of
Excuse me, ma'am.
iterations.
All
Yeah.
clear, all clear.
Ma'am, this while loop is just to update while.
This while loop is done. Why? See, this while loop is checking whether the current x that I have is greater than the y. Okay. If it is greater, that means I do not need to check whether those two are equal or not. So I will start checking when the y becomes greater than or equal to x. So why is it done for sorted lists? Because sorted lists are in ascending order, na? So every time if I start from the beginning, sure you can get the answer if you start from the beginning. But why will I do all these extra steps? Why will I compare with all these smaller elements that I know? So I will reach that point where I know that y is not smaller than x. Then I will check if they're equal. Okay, this is just reducing the number of comparisons. Even this previous code will work. Okay, this is
I
just more
understand,
optimized.
but we are using this.
We are using what?
But we are using this while loop is just to update because we are using
It is to
this
update
while
y.
loop because we want to update x.
We want to update y and
Update
list
y,
two.
and because the list are sorted,
Yes,
we want to
because
update y.
every time that we
Because
are
the
picking
list
an
is
element
sorted,
from
and we
L2, see, every time you pick an element from L2, you want to update L2. That is, I do not want to check
Yes.
for that element again. Okay. So that element will remain stored in
if
y
it is
even for the
equal
next
or it
element
will
in
less than
L1.
x.
Yes, as long as y is less than x. But if I find an element in L2 that is greater than or equal to x, then I will check the comparison, this statement. Okay. See, whenever we are writing a code for
Yes, ma'am,
any
I got it.
problem, for any computational problem, we can write a code in a lot of different ways. You can have 10 different ways of solving a problem, but we want to optimize. Okay. When you are actually working in industry, you need to write optimized code. That is code that will have shorter time complexities. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
as less amount of iterations are there, the time complexity is better. So that's what we are aiming for. That's why this code is a bit complicated than the previous one, because this will do it in less time. Okay. Now
This
see.
code is more
Yeah, this is
efficient.
optimized code. Now it is
So-
saying second list has been modified inside the procedure. Now this is the side effect of what we just did. Now when we do this procedure, the list L2 keeps on getting modified as soon as we do rest of L2, right? As many times as we do rest of L2, we actually lose the elements. So in the end, at the end of the procedure, L2 will have nothing left. So this is a side effect. What can I do to preserve L2? L1 is preserved. I am not doing anything to L1. I'm just traversing through L1. But L2 gets modified. So I want both lists intact. In that case, what can I do? What is your idea?
We can duplicate the list and rename it, like L2 is equal to some new list.
Exactly.
Ma'am, and
Simple
we
as that.
can,
You can just
ma'am, and also we can just directly use for each block in the second list also instead of using rest and this while this complication.
if you do this for each block in case of doing rest, then that means you are doing what? You are traversing through all of the elements in L2.
Yes,
So that's
ma'am.
exactly what we are trying to avoid, right? Because that means
Yes,
that
ma'am.
that is the exact equal number of comparisons. We are trying to lessen the number of comparisons. That's why this rest condition is there.
Ma'am, we could use an index.
See, it's don't even have to think that complicated way. The first thing that she said, just make a duplicate list. Na? Keep L2
Yes,
intact,
ma'am.
but store L2 in a separate list on which you actually perform these operations. So instead of directly performing it on L2, we take another list. See, my L2. In this L2, we are first storing L2. Now, every rest operation we are performing on this list instead of the L2 list. So even at the end of execution, you will still have L1 and L2 lists intact. See, this is the exact same code. Just in what things we have changed, these highlighted lines. Okay, first we have stored L2 in this my L2 list. Now, after that, do you see anywhere that we are using L2 in any operations? Everywhere I have changed it with my L2, right? Here, everywhere. So it's just the same thing. Instead of losing elements in L2 or modifying it, So to cancel out that side effect of modifying the second list, we are making a copy of it. Clear?
Ma'am, in this inside this while,
Hmm.
in this where you're writing y as first of my L2,
Hmm.
I was saying all we could have done is kept the index, and every time we would have checked this, we would have checked the value at that index for this y less than x, and then start from that position only. And I think that would also, that would neither.
Wait. I am not entirely understanding. Wait. You are saying that I am, instead of writing this y equals to first of L2,
Yeah,
what am I writing?
you are right. You are storing the index
Index of list L2.
Index of this, yes, index of L2.
So this is the index of the element that I'm currently at.
Yes.
So that is always going to be the first element.
Yes, but later we will change that.
See,
That's the
you
thing we
have
are
to
doing, I
start.
think.
We have to start from the first element, na? But what we are trying to do is that we are trying to make sure that the first element that we pick is actually only gets picked if these conditions are satisfied.
Yes, what I'm saying is that if you could just write down to this list.
Okay, tell me what is the statement you are saying to put in place of here.
Well, okay, so what I was saying
are you
is that
asking for one more for each block?
No for each block.
So what will be the statement in place of this?
Store the.
See, even to store list index, you still need to traverse the list to update that index. Okay, even whenever you are updating that index, you are saying that I am completely discarding this part, right? You want to discard this part.
Well, not discarding, we have to check that, but instead of every time we are doing rest of my L2, we are making the list shorter. We are what we are doing, we are removing the first element and keeping the rest of it. All I am saying is that whenever what rest does, it prevents us to check the elements beforehand. We are shortening the list.
Rest is just shortening L2.
Yeah,
nothing else. It's just picking the first element and rest of it.
And then when this while goes, what we are doing is that we are traversing this L2 when this y less than x passes. When y less than x is true, and then we are doing this while. So what I'm saying is that every time, okay, I would need one example if I want to say what I'm telling.
Swaran.
Okay, I guess we can do one thing. See, whatever your thought process is, you can do this. Just write this procedure with the code that you think will work. Okay.
Okay.
Just write that code and then you show me the code itself. Okay. You can do it right now also and show me at the end of class.
Yeah,
then
sure.
also I can
I'll
take
do
it
that.
up. That will be better.
Sure.
So is this part clear for everyone else? Why we are doing this, right?
Ma'am, can we directly have y equal to x over there? Instead of y is less than x, because anyways after that we are going to check x is equal to y.
Why are we doing this y less than x? I told you so that I can discard all of the elements that are less than x. I just want to check for those elements which are greater than or equal to x, because if I remove all of the elements that are less than x, then what are my possibilities? Either the element is equal to x or it is greater than x. So possibilities are now less compared to the other code. This is what I'm trying to do here.
Yes, ma'am.
But even if we do equal to, then the previous cards will be discarded.
If you want to put an equal here.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Then what is the point of changing the code if I'm going to check it here only?
Means it will discard the previous cards of x.
No.
Ma'am, the main reason that we are using this big code is because we have to use less options for comparing.
Exactly. For every element in L1, I want less number of comparisons.
But she's saying something else. She's saying that you take everything like first and rest, you do all of that. Then while she's saying you remove the while part and you just check if x is equal to y.
Yeah, that's
so if I do that here, then how are you lessening the number of comparisons?
Means if
See,
x is equal to
in the
y,
next, okay,
then
let me explain to you why this is not going to work. In the previous example that we took, right? If I put equal here, okay, then there is no way that I can start from the middle of the list in some place where y is going to be greater than or equal to x. I have to start from the beginning only then. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to start from the beginning. The comparisons, I don't want to start comparing with the beginning of L2. Okay,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you put equal to sign here, then there is no way that I can discard any element of L2 without comparing it. That's my point here. I don't want to compare every element of L1 with every element of L2. I want to compare each element of L1 with only those elements of L2 which are greater than or equal to it, not less than it. That's why this condition is here. Understood? This is to discard the number of comparisons from the beginning. Because if it's the list is what? In sorted order. So we know that there are going to be smaller elements in the beginning of the list, and as we traverse the list, the elements grow, increase. Right? So every time if you start from comparing from the beginning, then you are already doing a lot of extra calculations, extra number of comparisons. That's what I'm trying to lessen here. See, if whatever theories you have, it is fine. Obviously, you can experiment with your code. But just do one thing. You can write the code, whatever you are thinking of placing it here. Okay. If you're thinking you want to place an equal to here, y equals to x. Fine, you do that code and you run it. Okay. Take some example like I took. Take two lists, run that code using the code that is given here and using the pseudocode that you write, and you see how many comparisons you are doing in both of them. Okay, then you'll understand the difference. This is about reducing number of comparisons.
but if we have y equal to x, still we can do the rest thing, right? We can do my 1 to equal
But
to
then
rest
what will
of my
happen?
1.
Then you are every time just
It will
removing
remove,
one element.
if like 4 is equal to 4, then it will remove all the previous elements.
How is it removing all the previous elements? How do you know that the previous elements are greater than or less than? You don't know that.
Because it's sorted.
It is sorted, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you are running the code, does it know whether it is sorted or not? See, I understand you are saying in case of here, if I put y equals to x and then do these two things, but then it will never check whether the previous y's, whether they are less than x or not. I don't see, you know that the lists are sorted, but if you give this pseudocode to a random person and give him two lists, he doesn't know whether those lists are sorted or not. So I need to, if you want to write an optimized query, the idea, the logic behind this one is that how will I lessen the number of comparisons by totally not comparing with those elements which are less than it, which are less than x. I'm not going to compare. Okay. I cannot think of a better way to explain this right now, but
Ma'am, it is a very lengthy if we try to explain it in words.
yeah. See,
For
this
example,
code is, it can look lengthy, but it is going to be much more optimized than the smaller one.
yes, ma'am, because we are comparing more, for example, in sets,
If
we
you
have to
don't
make,
write this statement here, if you don't do this y less than x, then the number of comparisons will not be less. You can try it. I told you, right? You can write your own pseudocode and take this pseudocode also. And for both of them, you can try running an example with list L1 and L2 and you check which one has less number of comparisons. Okay. If you find a way where you are getting both equal number of comparisons in both cases, then you can tell me. We can definitely take it up. Okay.
Ma'am, if this pseudocode works good, means it lessen the comparison. Then how it become side effect?
No, it is removing the side effect. No? It is, what is the side effect of this code? The side effect was that L2 list was getting modified. That is, at the end of execution, L2 was containing nothing. L2 became empty. I do not have access to the original L2 list. That is the side effect of this code. Now, how can I remove that side effect? By making a copy of L2.
Yes,
okay. See, this is, I think, also the same code. Okay, someone was asking about deleting, whether we can delete something from a dictionary. So I told you that, yeah, it is possible to delete. But see, you cannot directly delete an element from a dictionary. Okay, there is no such function. So what can we do? Look,
And pop
the easiest
copy
way
element.
is to create a new dictionary where you are going to store all the elements of the previous dictionary except the one that you want to delete. Is the logic clear what I'm doing?
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
if I have 5 elements in a dictionary, okay, and I want to discard the third element, the third key value pair. So I will take an empty dictionary, and in that I will slowly add every element one by one from this previous dictionary except that third element. Then that new dictionary is what? The previous dictionary, but with a deleted key value pair. See, what is the procedure for that? It's saying delete key. This is the name of the procedure. And what are the arguments? This dictionary and the key that you want to delete. Okay. So my D is what? It is a empty dictionary that I initialized. Now for each key in keys of D. So keys of D returns what?
The keys of the dictionary, which is already exist.
In which form? Which
List.
format?
List.
List, right? So keys of D will give me a list of all keys of the dictionary D. And I have empty dictionary, my D here. So you pick each key from this list. Now, if the key is not equal to your desired key, that is the one that you want to delete, the one that you passed here. If it is not equal to it, then you will add that key to this my dictionary. Okay. So every time you find a key which is not equal to your desired key, you just add it to the new dictionary. So like this, you will keep on iterating until you find that key, right? Where there is a match. So for that match, K is not equal to key. This will be wrong. K will be equal to key, right? Let's say for the third element, like I said, then the keys will match. So you will not add it to the new dictionary. So we will just go to the next iteration and add the next elements. And at the end, my dictionary will contain all of the elements or all of the key value pairs other than the one that you want to delete. So you will just copy this my dictionary back to your original dictionary. Okay. You can also not do this step. That is also fine. You can just keep it in my dictionary. See. It is saying copy all the key values except the one to be deleted in a new dictionary and copy back the updated dictionary. So in this case, what is the side effect? The side effect in the procedure is intended. Use side effects to update a collection inside a procedure or sorting a list in place. Okay. So what if I didn't do this? What if I didn't copy it back? If I copy it back, do I have the original dictionary anymore?
No, ma'am.
Then I won't have it.
It will get updated.
So instead, what I can do, I can just return the my dictionary itself. So D still has all the previous values. Okay. See, these side effects are very small, but there can be in real life scenarios, we always want to preserve the original data, right? Even after doing our desired operations, there are some cases where we want to preserve the original data. So if you update this dictionary, then we will never have access to that deleted element again, right? So that's why to do that, they are saying that you can avoid the last step to get rid of this side effect. That is, you do not assign D the new my dictionary. Instead, you return the my dictionary itself. Okay, and D remains like it was in originally. So is deletion from a dictionary clear?
What?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
like show the previous code once?
It's the exact same. See, just this line I am avoiding. Instead of copying this new dictionary in the original dictionary, I'm keeping the original as it is. And I'm returning this new dictionary. Okay.
So,
Just like in L2, we made a copy to keep the original L2 intact. Just like here, also we want to keep the original dictionary intact. That's it.
here we want to keep the original intact, right? And we just
Yeah.
want to
Yes,
return
that's
the
why
updated
D is not updated anywhere. You're just returning the my dictionary
my
that you
dictionary.
created.
Okay, got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so these are, I think, same things. Yeah. You can just call the procedure like this also. That is, you can reassign it after the procedure call. Okay. Maybe you can, you're passing this my dictionary, okay, as your argument. So you can do the reassigning by this also. That is when whatever I get back, whatever dictionary I'm getting in return value, I can store it in this my dictionary. That also you can do, or you can store it anywhere you want. This statement we have come across multiple times, right? Whenever we are doing a procedure call, we can store it in a variable that we want. See, one more thing I wanted to show. Okay, no, this is fine. See, these are just some examples of side effects, but the first code that we did, so many of you had questions regarding that common elements in list. Okay, why the modified code? So I will ask both of you. Two of you said that you have some different idea, right? So you just write your own pseudocode. Okay, at this point, okay, is everyone comfortable with writing pseudocode right now? Can you write your own pseudocode?
ma'am.
Just this type of procedures.
Yes, ma'am.
So write your own pseudocode. Okay. If you know a programming language, very good. If you don't know, then also no problem. Just write the pseudocode and run it using any example of list L1 and L2. If you see that you're actually getting equal number of comparisons in both, then very good. Okay. But if you see that your number of comparisons is greater, that means that code is not as optimized as this one. Okay. So you find that out and let me know. Now let's do the practice assignment.
Ma'am, for the 7th last week graded assignment doubt, will I ask that at the last of the class?
Yeah, if there is time, I will take it. Otherwise, see, tomorrow's class, you don't have anything to do except the activity. So there also you can ask.
Oh, sure.
Okay, let me just finish the practice today because this is very important.
Okay.
Just a second. Okay, can you see screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, this is okay, right? Look, this is the first question. Okay. So they're saying the following pseudocode is executed using the scores dataset. What will Z represent at the end of execution? So most students get this type of questions wrong just by looking at the code because it's a little lengthy. Okay. But it is nothing difficult. See, first we'll do it line by line. First line is doing what? Just initializing an empty dictionary D and then a variable called average, and I'm assigning it the value 0. Second line, again, I'm assigning two more variables with the value 0, A and C. Third line is what? While table 1 has more rows. This is from the scores dataset. So first card that I pick. Okay. First card that I pick, what information are there in scores dataset? The marks of students, his name, town, city, all of these things, gender, right? So first I pick a card. Now, I know the total marks in that card. So I will add the total marks to A. Okay, this variable A will contain the sum of all total marks. So I will add the total marks, and C is nothing but the count. Okay, so the first card I pick, I will add 1 to C. So at this point, C is 1 and A is just the total marks in the first card. Okay. Now line 7, if is key D, city town. So whatever is the town or city of that student whose card I picked, is that a part of this keys of dictionary D? But dictionary D initially is empty. So for the first iteration, this will give what? True or false? This line?
False. Else the block will execute.
Okay. Now you tell me, if I'm just saying, if all the cards in your scores dataset have students coming from different city or towns, in that case, will I ever find any key that is already present?
No.
No. So for that, I have to create a key pair, right? Key value pair. But obviously, there are duplicates in our data set. So there will be keys that are already present.
Why same city?
Why same city means? See, whenever you are coming across a new city or town that you haven't already created a key for in your D dictionary, you have to create a new key pair for that. Okay, but if there are repetitions, say I have already picked someone from Kolkata and I have created an entry for them in dictionary D, and then again the next card is also from a student from Kolkata. Okay, so in that case, I know that, okay, there exists a key value pair for this city or town. Okay, so it is part of the key of the dictionary D. That's what it is checking. But for the first iteration, D is empty. So I have to create this. I have to come to the else part. Will I go here to the if part or the else part for first iteration?
Else part.
Else.
Else part, because this part is giving false. It is not a key. D doesn't have any keys until now. So I'm creating this key. So now D X city town. Now this is the important part here. See, here the value part has two different subparts. One is the total, one is the count. Okay. So against each city, there is going to be an entry like this. For every unique city, I have this total and count. This is the entire value part. Okay.
Ma'am, so this will be a dictionary inside a dictionary.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Then X city
So-
town is key.
X city town is the key of dictionary D. Okay. Now what is the value against that key? The value is again a dictionary
Is-
itself,
It's
where
a
total
dictionary
and count are the
having a-
keys. Yeah.
So, ma'am,
X city-
Total and
dictionary
count.
inside a dictionary?
Yeah, it is a dictionary inside a dictionary.
Yeah.
That's
X
why
city
it-
town is the key for the dictionary inside the dictionary, and the for
No,
inside
no.
dictionary.
X city town is the key for D dictionary. And for the dictionary inside a dictionary, there are two keys for every city and town. One is total, one is count.
X city
Okay.
town is dictionary.
X city town is key for dictionary D.
And
Okay.
what is the value
And for
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 that key?
every city and town, listen to me first. For every unique city town, okay, there is a separate dictionary. That is the value part for that city or town is a dictionary in itself. And what are the keys of that dictionary? Total and count. So each such entry exists for every unique city or town. Clear?
Clear, ma'am, clear.
Let
I
me
got
take
it.
an example. See, let's say the first card I picked is from Kolkata. You can take any city or town. I am just taking my city. So Kolkata, and I am taking, let's say total marks of that person is 250 out of 300, and count will always be 1. Okay. So what is the first entry in my dictionary now? For D Kolkata, I have total 250 and count 1. Okay. So like this, for every city, every unique city that I pick, I will create one such entry. Now say after creating 4 or 5 such entries, I again found a student from Kolkata. Okay. So now come to this statement, if is key. So is it a key? Now is Kolkata a key for D?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I will enter this part. So
Yes,
D Kolkata total. Okay. Now see what we are doing. For this, the total part, that is dictionary inside the dictionary, for this entry, I am going to add the total of this new student to the total part. Let's say this new student has scored 200 as total. So what does the total become now in X city town Kolkata? 450.
250.
450.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay,
250
total.
plus
I added.
200. Just
Yeah,
add the total. Okay. And also update the count. So tell me, what is this doing? For every city, every unique city, I am finding that sum of total marks of all students and the number of students from that city. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Count is storing the number of cards from Kolkata, that is number of students from Kolkata. And total is storing what? The total sum of total marks of all students from Kolkata. So like this, there will be an entry in outer dictionary. There will be a key for every unique city. And for every unique city, the value part will contain what? Another dictionary where there are only 2 keys. The total key, which is storing sum of total marks of all students from that city, and the count key, which is storing number of students from that city. Okay. So this whole loop will continue until I have exhausted all my cards in scores dataset. So at the end of this bracket here, I should have a full dictionary with every unique city and value pairs, right? Now in
Yes,
line
ma'am.
16, I'm doing average equals to A by C. So what is A storing? First tell me what is A?
The total of all the students.
Total of
All
all the
students
students
from
in the
every
data
city.
set.
Yes, all students from every city in the data set. Okay. And C is what? Number of students in data set. So what is average? Average total marks of all students in data set.
Yeah.
A by
Right?
C.
This is average total marks of data set, of entire data set. Now see. Z is now a new variable. I have assigned it the value 0. Now line 19 is doing what? For each B in keys of D. Keys of D. What are the keys of D?
City names.
City names.
Unique
Yeah.
city names. Correct. So for each of those city names, we will come here to line 20. D of B of average. Okay. Now they're checking the average here. What will be the average? I'm just adding a new key. I'm adding a new key to this entry, which is average. So for every city, I'm going to add the average key at the end here. Okay, because now I have the total and the count from that city. So I can find the average. So now in the inner dictionary, I'm just adding a new key called average. And what is the value? DB total by DB count.
Yes,
That is for Kolkata. I had the total marks of all students from Kolkata stored like this and the total count of all students. So I'm just dividing that and creating a new key for average, where the value would be the average value from that city, right? So after you do that, then you check if the average is greater than the entire average of the data set. If it is greater, then what will you do? Z equals to Z plus DB count. That is, you count the number of students. Add the count of the number of students from that city. So what is Z actually storing?
The number of students who have scored
The
more
number
than
of
average
students.
total marks.
Who are above 20?
From the whole
Number of
data set,
students,
I think.
number of students
From a
who are
particular
from a
city.
city. Number of students from a particular city where the average is greater than the data set average, right?
Yeah.
See, which of the options? Option A
Ma'am?
is what? Number of students. Yeah.
Can you please explain the line
Yeah.
22?
Yeah, sure. Just a second. Let me tell which option is the
worries.
answer. I'll explain. Number of students from cities with average total marks of the city is more than the average total marks of the dataset. I think this is the answer.
This is correct.
First
Yeah.
one.
Okay, let's check if it is A. Yeah, it is A. See, this line up to 20 line, have you understood? Line 20?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now in line 21, what I'm checking, whether that average that we calculated is greater than the total average or not. If it is greater than the total average, then for that city, I'm taking the count, student count. Okay. I'm taking the student count and adding it to Z. So every time I encounter one such city where the average of the city's marks is greater than the dataset average, I'm going to add the number of students from that city to Z. So Z will contain the count of all such students who belong from such cities where the average is greater than dataset average.
Okay, ma'am.
Understood?
Got it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So is this question clear for everyone? Any confusion in any step?
Yes.
No, ma'am.
Was this difficult?
Ma'am.
Now you tell me.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
explain the line 7, ma'am. Why it is false?
This line.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Initially D is what? Empty? Initially D is empty dictionary?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you pick the first card, are there any keys present in D?
No, ma'am.
So what does its key function check? It checks whether something is a key of a dictionary or not. So if there are no keys in the dictionary, it cannot be a key. So this will return false. The is key part will return false for the first iteration at least.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, when will it return false? Every time we are adding a new city or town. every time we encounter a new city or town, which is not part of the dictionary yet, it will return false. So I have to create an entry for that city or that town, right? But every time you encounter a card which is from a city or town that you have encountered before, that means you have already created a key for that town or that city. So for that, this part will return what? True. And I will just update the average and count. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood now?
Yes, ma'am, I understood.
Okay. See,
Thank you, ma'am.
See, this type of code, it's very easy. Okay, just don't get intimidated. Just go line by line. Now, second question. See, even if you look at this solution, right? I was looking at the solution before. I thought that this was a very complicated way. See, if you look at this huge paragraph and then go back to the code and try to match, it is much easier to solve it yourself. If you absolutely cannot solve, then you go for the solution.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, from where can we get this this PDF in which solution is given?
It is given on the portal itself.
Ma'am, but there is no
I
explanation
think
of the
I think
question
they
in
haven't.
detail.
Uploaded till week 4 only. After week 5, it's not uploaded.
There is no.
I tell them so many times. I have told them, still haven't updated. Let me talk. Okay, I will get it done this week for sure. Okay. I don't
Could
actually. I
could
am
you
not
share
working.
this particular one, this one, week 8 in
Yeah,
the last.
sure. Yeah, I will put it in the chat box. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of a communication gap actually, since I'm not working from office. So some of the things are not done properly. I'll let them know today. Okay. So question 2 is what? The following pseudocode is executed using shopping bills dataset. Let D be a dictionary that maintains the following information: the category of the item purchased by a customer, and choose the correct code fragment to complete the pseudocode. So what is D storing? D maintains the following information: category of the item purchased by a customer. So customer and category, these are the things in D dictionary, right? What is the code given to us? D is an empty dictionary initially. Then you read the cards from pile 1, that is shopping bills dataset. Now for every card you pick, there is some code fragment here, and then you move it to pile 2. So what is the code fragment? What is the first one? It is saying for each A in X.item list. Okay. For each A in X.item list, there is wait, did it
Ma'am, your
stop
screen
sharing?
stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me reshare. Now? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do I want in the dictionary? Category of items purchased by customer. So what should be my key? What should be my key?
Customer name.
Customer name, right? So what is the first element giving? First option. For each A in X.item list, X is the card that I've picked for some customer. Shopping bills dataset has what? The shop from which they have purchased and what items they have purchased, category, price, all of that, right? So they're saying for each A in X.item list. Item list is all the items that they have purchased. So I will create an entry D customer name A. That is for each item. And I will assign it the value true. But is this the kind of key value pair I want?
No, ma'am.
Like if that person, let's say X has purchased some stationery item. Okay. So for that, maybe he has purchased a pen. And maybe his, whatever his name is, say Rahul. So it will look like D Rahul pen, and then that is true. So this is your key and this is the value. So is this what I want?
No, ma'am. We want
First
the
of all,
count
this
of
is
the category.
right. First of all, this is creating a dictionary inside a dictionary, right? That also we don't want. Next option, then this is wrong, I know. Next option, if is key, D customer name. That is, if that customer name is already a key for dictionary D, then you create an empty dictionary for that customer, it is saying. And for each A in item list, again, this line. For category, I'm creating like a dictionary within a dictionary. But firstly, you tell me, if it is a key, if it is already a key of D, do I need to create again an empty dictionary for that?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
We will have to update the older dictionary.
Yes. So obviously
It's
this is
not
also
if
wrong. Yeah, go on. Are you saying something?
if in the first line, if it is written that if not key, then we have
Yeah.
then we have.
If not key, then I am going to form a new entry. Now, what is third option? See, if not is key, then I am creating a new dictionary. Fine. That is this entry. This is dictionary within dictionary. That is the value part is also a dictionary. And if it is a key, then I will come to the else part. Right. If not key, then this one. But if it is a key, then the else part. And else part is doing what? For each A in item list, again this. But again, is this the key value pair I'm looking for?
No.
No.
Let's check the last option. See. If not is key, then empty dictionary. Now, for each A in X dot item list, I am taking the category of the item. What was I doing here? I was taking the item itself. But read the question. Category of the item purchased by the customer. So I can surely say at least 50% of around 50% people will take this one also. Because you are not reading the question correctly. See, just one small difference. Here, instead of the item itself, you take the category of the item. That's what I'm looking for, right? I want every unique category against every customer name. So for every customer and every category, I will have a unique entry, right? So in the D customer name, let's say for Rahul. So for D Rahul, I will have an entry, which is again a dictionary where there is a category, let's say stationery. And against that, I have this value true. Again, there can be a category like fruits or vegetables,
Apple.
right? Again, that will be true. So this is the kind of entries I want. So this will give me. So option D is the correct answer. Is there any issue understanding the question? Tell me.
No.
No, ma'am. Clear.
The options are getting confused in. See, main thing here in this question, there is actually nothing. Just this you have to be careful about. That I want the category of the item purchased. See, if you look at it carefully, then you can easily eliminate option A and C in the beginning because you don't see category anywhere, right? In option A, is there anywhere it is written category? No. Again, in option C also, there is no part where I can see category is being used. Only in options B and D, category is being used. And in option B, this is the wrong step. If it is a key, I do not need to create a new dictionary. So easily you can eliminate this also. Okay. And how many marks is this question? See, 3 marks. So 3 marks, if you are actually pretty fluent in this, it won't even take you 30 seconds to solve this question. Now see, next one is, what does the pseudocode compute when it is executed using shopping bills dataset? So first I have a dictionary called BB. Okay, it is empty dictionary. A is a variable which is storing the value none, the string. Now, while pile 1 has more cards, read the top card X in pile 1. If shop name is Big Bazaar, okay. If shop name is Big Bazaar, then in the dictionary, you are going to update it. Update dictionary BBX. What is update dictionary? It is a procedure. We'll see what that procedure does. So every time the shop name is Big Bazaar, we are calling this procedure. So let's see what is the procedure doing. See. Update dictionary procedure. It is taking 2 things as argument. One is the dictionary name. Another is what? The card. Right. So for each A in Y dot item list, let's say Y is the card I picked. And there is an item list of items that Y has purchased. The student has purchased from card Y. So for each of those items in item list, if the category of the item is already part of the key of D dictionary. Okay, if it is part, then you're just going to increment the value by 1. If it is not a part, then you're going to create an entry for that category. So if I pass BB and X, okay, so what am I actually doing? In this BB dictionary, I'm going to check for every item. In X's item list, I'm going to check for every item whether that category of that item is a key for BB. If it is already a key, then I'm just going to increment the value by 1. If it is not a key, I'm going to create a key for that category and assign it the value 1. And at the end, after going through all the items, I'm going to return the dictionary D. In this case, BB is the dictionary I'm returning because this is the one I'm passing as argument. Is this much clear?
The value of the numbers, right? Or
Ma'am,
like
can you please explain the 12th and 13th line again?
Look, for every for this D dictionary, right? And card is Y. It is saying for each A in Y dot item list. Y dot item list is what? All the items that Y has bought. Fine. So for each of such items, I am going to check if the category that that item belongs to, like say, if I am checking for the first item, it is a pen. It belongs from category stationery. So for that pen, I have to check if the stationery category is a key of dictionary D already. If it is a key, then I'm just going to increment the value corresponding to that key by 1. But if it is not a key, then I'm going to create a key and assign it the value 1. Clear?
So we are counting the categories of the customer which he
No, we
had
are
bought.
in line 14, we are counting the items from the same category. Number of items from same category.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
is the
basically,
update?
category of the item is the key in the dictionary, right? The
Yes,
key is in the
category of
dictionary.
item is the key.
Okay, yeah,
Ma'am,
got
and
it.
this procedure will get for each and every customer that we are going to get.
Yeah. This will do for each and every customer because see, every time you read the card from pile 1, if the shop name is Big Bazaar, you're calling this procedure. So for every customer that has shopped in Big Bazaar.
Big Bazaar, yes. Got
Okay.
it, ma'am.
So we
for
just
that,
have one dictionary, right? Not
yes,
for all
no,
the
only
customers. like
no,
that.
only D. Only BB is the only dictionary. Okay, not separate for every customer.
Okay, got it.
Ma'am, but it will
Ma'am,
be a
in
dictionary inside a dictionary, na? Because for Big Bazaar, it is a dictionary which is containing each customer, and each customer is having a dictionary which have the count
So,
of each
okay.
category.
Wait. Tell me, is the customer name anywhere a key? I am only checking category as the key. Category is the only key in D dictionary. Customer name is not a
Customer
key.
name. Okay,
It is
ma'am,
a
got it.
single
Sorry.
dictionary. Okay. And the value is what? Value is count of items from that category. Understood?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it does not matter who actually the customer is.
No.
The only thing that
As long
matters
as
is
they
the
have
category of the
shopped
item
from
he
here.
purchased. Yeah.
Only those customer who has shopped from Big Bazaar.
Uh-huh.
So this procedure I will call for every card that I see from Big Bazaar. Okay. And I'll keep on updating dictionary D accordingly. Okay. But what is line 9 saying? A equals to get max key by key, and I'm passing BB as the this thing argument. So I think this is one more procedure. Yes. See, 2 procedures are there. So what is get max key by key? So it is passing D dictionary as an argument. In our case, BB is the dictionary we are passing. So first A is none and B is 0. So for each Y in keys of D. Okay. So tell me, once I have completed all the cards from Shopping Bills dataset, and I have updated BB dictionary by using this update dictionary procedure, what will be the keys of that dictionary? Every unique item category. Yes, every unique
item
category of
category is the
items.
dictionary for is the key for dictionary D. Item category.
Yes. So different
Then
categories, unique
one
categories
is
are
for
the key.
each. But here in line 5, update dictionary D, comma Y. Then Y is the key for dictionary D, and Y is
Which
item
one?
list or something.
Y is just the
In
card.
line
Y
11.
is just the card you're picking. See, Here you're
But
calling the
this place
procedure.
is for key.
I don't get your question. Can you repeat?
In update dictionary,
Ma'am,
when we in line 5 for dictionary BB, we are updating dictionary BB, and we are putting X as a key.
X is not a key. X is an argument. This is a procedure call. I'm calling the procedure update dictionary and I'm passing BB and X as the arguments. BB is the dictionary and X is the card that I am currently picked from pile 1. Okay.
And for each A in Y item list, so item list is the key for dictionary.
Item list is not the key. What is the key? This is where you see the key. Dictionary D and category
Name
is
of the
the key.
category.
So every unique item category is a key in dictionary D. Okay. Y is nothing. Y is just the card that I have picked.
Okay. Yes, because is key and the dictionary when I have this address.
No. Is
I got
key
it.
is the procedure where you're checking whether that category is already a key for dictionary D. If it is already a key, then you just increment the value by 1. That is, I have one more item from this category. But if it is not a key, then you are going to create one.
Is the key for dictionary.
Categories like pen is from stationery category. So category is the key for dictionary
Key.
D.
And value is the count of that category.
Items
which
from
is
that
purchased.
category. Yeah.
Items. Thank you.
Yeah. Now let's see what is procedure get max key by key doing. So it is passing a dictionary as argument. In our case, we have seen it is passing this BB dictionary only, which we are updating till now. So A is first none and B is 0. For each Y in keys of D, okay, keys of D, we know unique item categories. If B is less than DY, okay, what is B? B is initially 0. What will DY be? For any particular category, it will give me the count of items purchased from that category. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Like if
Yes,
I said
ma'am.
D stationery,
Yes,
it will
ma'am.
give me the number of, let's say, some n number of items that have been purchased from that category. From which store?
Big Bazaar.
Big Bazaar.
Only Big Bazaar, no other cards. Okay. So if this is true, if B is less than the number of items from a particular category, then I'm going to assign Y or the category name to A. And B will be assigned the value against that category. That is number of items from that category. Okay. And at the end of all of these iterations, so this for loop will iterate as many unique item categories are there, right? Or as many keys in dictionary D. So for that, I am going to keep updating this. So at the end of this for each block, what is A going to contain?
The category which have the highest
Item
number
which
of
is to
items.
item which purchase most. Which is
Category from
purchased.
which highest number of items have been purchased.
Purchased.
Correct?
Yes.
And B is going to be what? The count of those items from that category. That is how many items from that category.
Ma'am, in line 25 here, Y is basically the count of the categories, right?
No. Y is what? Keys of D. What are the keys of D?
Categories.
The
The
name of
actual categories
categories.
themselves. So Y is a name of a category.
Acha, okay, huh.
Okay, you're picking the categories themselves. So we know that A at the end of execution will be what? Category with highest number of items purchased. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Highest number of items. And B is the number of those items. That is how many items have been purchased. And I am returning what? A. So I'm returning the category. So this A, when I call this procedure on BB, it will give back that category of item from Big Bazaar, from which I have seen most purchases of an item. Right? From Big Bazaar, it will give me that category from which most items have been purchased. Clear? Let's check the options. Find the item category from, okay, what is the question itself? What does the following
What will
pseudocode
pseudocode?
compute? Okay. Find the item category from Big Bazaar. Find top item category by item category count from Big Bazaar. Find the most frequent item category from Big Bazaar. Find the top item category by item quantity from Big Bazaar. Which one do you think?
Option B.
Obviously,
It is a
this
multiple
is
choice, I think.
सी
It is a
frequent
multiple.
मतलब जिसकी frequency ज्यादा हो.
this is a multiple choice, I think. If it was MSQ, it would be mentioned. There's a multiple choice, yeah. So D option I can eliminate because there is nothing I know about item quantity, right?
A option is also wrong.
E is
Sorry.
also
Wait,
incorrect. Na, item.
1 second.
C, ma'am, C.
I will not
It
say
should be
anything.
B,
You
ma'am.
tell me. Which one?
C only.
C,
Ma'am,
C.
B and C, I think. B and
Find
C
the
both.
Frequency.
most frequent
because
item category from Big Bazaar. Let's see. C is the correct one. Because obviously, if the item has been purchased the maximum number of times, so it is the most frequent item. If the item count is the largest from that category, that
Why
means
is
most.
B wrong?
Ma'am,
Sorry?
B would be similar.
B
Ma'am,
option,
please
why is
explain
B
why is
option
B.
wrong?
What is B? Find the top item category by item category count. Am I finding item category count or item count from that category? What is item category count? If I have 5 different categories, item category count is 5. But I'm not counting that. What am I counting? Items from that category. That's why you have to read the
Ma'am.
options very carefully. Item category count is something else.
Items from that.
Ma'am, what does it mean, ma'am? Item category count means the number of categories, different categories.
It is item category. Yeah, number of item categories. This actually this option will not even make any proper sense.
Yes,
If you
ma'am,
read it
that's the
carefully.
reason.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I understood.
Ma'am, but it's very confusing. Option B is confusing.
It is confusing, but you know that it is not the correct answer because we are not talking about the item numbers anywhere.
Actually, I
to talk.
selected the B option instead of
Okay,
C
I
because
understood.
it's
B
the
option.
topmost category.
B
See,
option is trying to find out the top item category by the number of categories present from
Yeah,
Big
but there
Bazaar
is no
sale,
way
right?
that you can find top
Acha.
item category by item category count. It
Acha,
is
got
not
it, got it.
possible. Top
Yes, ma'am,
item
got it.
category can be found by the number of items from that category. That is most frequent item category.
Yes, ma'am.
What are we actually finding using this entire code? The most frequent item category. That's why option C.
Ma'am, if the option B would be like find the top item category by just item category. Sorry, by category
By
count.
item
Like,
count.
that
If
is-
you say by item count,
yeah.
then it is correct.
Okay.
Ma'am, doesn't this option D sound similar to count?
Finds the top item category by item quantity
Yeah, ma'am.
from Big Bazaar.
Count and
B and D are same now.
Sound similar,
Item
actually.
quantity is a different item. We are taking the whole item itself.
Item
For
quantity
example,
is different. We are taking the, see, if a person can buy 5 pens, okay, but from what that 5 is the quantity, but pen is the item number.
We are considering unique items in a category.
Yes, unique items.
Okay.
So, ma'am, unique
So for-
item is the item category, right?
No, category is
Unique item
stationery.
from that category.
See, category is stationery, item is pen, and quantity is the number of pens you have bought. Okay, first of all, look through the shopping bills data set, how each card looks. Then this will become clearer. But this will be the answer for sure. Okay, first tell me, any problem understanding the code itself because it's a little lengthy.
No, ma'am.
Any problem here?
no, ma'am.
No,
See,
ma'am.
it just looks
Yeah, ma'am.
lengthy. Okay, it's nothing. It's just 2 small procedures that you have to understand and then apply that in this while loop. That's all. So
Get
always
max
just
key by key is a bit confusing, I think.
Options are more confusing than the code.
options are
Yeah.
more confusing. Exactly. Code is actually pretty easy to understand if you just go through it once or twice. But
I
options,
think if we
Yeah,
take
all
an
the options
example,
look similar.
if there are 3 items falling in the same category, will the count get 3 times increased?
if 3 items are in the same category.
In
Okay.
stationery,
So
I buy
what
pen,
will
paper and book.
No, it won't get increased. No.
Why?
Because item list will contain only the pen, not how many times you have purchased a pen.
I said 3
No,
items
we said
belonging to the
unique
same
items.
category. Please listen. Pen,
Okay, everyone
paper,
please just stop
book.
talking. Let me listen. Yeah.
Pen,
Go on.
paper, book all falls into stationery category. At the end of that routine, this category count will be 3.
Yes.
Okay. So the number of items purchased under different category is what is stored in D.
Yes.
Now look at
That's the value part.
Now look at the options.
What's the question?
Same item or similar item falling into the same category. How do I figure out which option I to choose?
See, first of all, you can remove option B by what? Item category count is not what we are checking. We are checking unique items from a certain category. Okay. But not the count of those unique items. I can buy a pen and a book.
Item. No, it's a stationery and itery.
Stationery items.
Right.
But there can be,
Category,
like you said,
right?
that I have bought 3 different stationery items. Okay. Pen, paper, book, like you said. But again, I can have bought 5 books, 3 pens, 2 papers. I don't know about that. That is the quantity.
No, that's okay. No, I'm asking, when we use the word item category, it refers to stationery, grocery.
It refers to stationery.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now we want to pick up, in this example, we are supposed to pick up, say, stationery as the item which has been, under which more items have been bought. That's what the dictionary has. Correct?
Yes.
Assuming a dictionary with stationery 10, grocery 5, things like that, we are going to pick up stationery as the output.
Okay, can I tell you something? What is item category count? Item category count is a number of unique categories. Okay. Category count is what? If there are 3-4 different categories, like you said, groceries, stationery, these are category count. I can say, okay, there are 4 different categories.
Okay, 4 categories are there. From there, how do you pick up the top item category?
Exactly, you cannot. That is why I said that this option is not true. This doesn't
It
even
doesn't
make sense.
right? So
Yes.
what we are saying is, if I have a count of items, say 10 categories, I cannot pick up which is the top.
No.
So the B option is not making sense.
Yes, exactly. That's how you can discard it, because there is no way, even if I have a count
It's
of item
irrespective of the
categories,
logic.
from there I
It is
can take.
irrespective of the program.
Yeah.
It is irrespective of the code. So it is
You can
irrelevant
even-
for the question.
Even if you look at the code, there is nowhere that we are using this item category count. So it actually is not even related to the code.
That's okay.
It's just to confuse you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just to find the most frequent item. That is also not question. Then okay, last option. D is the one. Right?
C is the one.
C. Most frequent.
Are you checking item quantity? We are checking number of items, not item quantity. Quantity is how many pens you have bought. That I'm not checking. I'm checking unique items from that category.
Okay. How many times the category has been counted?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So next, 4th question. Anything else from that other question, previous one?
No.
Okay.
Oh, ma'am.
Now see, have you gone through the train data set? Do you know how it looks like? Train data set has 2 types of cards. Okay, one is the station
Yes,
card,
ma'am.
one is the train card.
Yes, ma'am.
So the station
Yes,
card, let's say Agra is a station. So it has all the list of trains that leaves Agra at what time or arrives at Agra, like this. Okay. And the train card has the list of stations that the train visits. Okay. So it is saying the following pseudocode is executed using the station-wise cards of the train dataset. That is the, like I said, the Agra card. Okay, that is a station-wise card. So it has a list of on which day, which train leaves at what time from Agra or when it arrives at Agra, like this. So station-wise cards of the train dataset, what will C represent at the end of execution? Okay, let's check this code. So first D is a dictionary and these are what? Unique keys. What are the keys? Names of days. Correct? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like this. 7 entries are there for 7 unique days of the week. And all of them are initially assigned the value 0. Okay. Now, while pile 1 has more cards, that is, if there are, say, let's say 10 stations are there, then there will be 10 different cards in the station wise category. Okay, just look at the train data set once, you'll understand. So read the top card X in pile 1. Okay, so there are unique cards for every station. So it is checking if the card that I picked, if the station name is Mumbai for that card. Okay, if it is Mumbai, then only enter this if block. If not, then no. Go to the next iteration. But if it is Mumbai, then for each A in train list. Okay, train list is what? See, in this Mumbai card, it looks like this. Okay, there is a card for Mumbai and there is some sequence number, obviously, and there are rows of different trains that are leaving that station or arriving at that station at Mumbai. Clear? So that is the train list. That is all the trains that are passing through Mumbai at some point. So for each A in train list, that is for each such train in this list, and for each B in A dot days. Okay, let me just try to show you the data set once, then it will be clear. Just a second. Okay, can you see? Oh, wait, I haven't shared this one. Wait. Can you see now? Let me pick a better station.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, for this Balasore station, there are 2 trains. Okay, so this train 12282, it arrives at 7:33, departs the station at 7:38, and on which day? On only Friday. Again, this train 12281 arrives, departs, and on which day? Wednesday. So like this, there are train lists for every station. Okay, this is the station part. In Bangalore, see, there are 4 trains. It arrives at 7:55, departure is not given. Which day? Wednesday. 02246, arrival is not given, but it departs at 11. Okay, so why are these arrival, departure, these things not given? Maybe because it's the last station. So it arrives here, but doesn't leave the station on Wednesday. And again, for 02246, it departs here. That is, this is the first station that it leaves. Okay, and at 11. And on which days? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so is the data set clear how it looks like? Now let's go back to the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, so for each such train in train list for this Mumbai station card, okay, and for each B in A dot days, DB will be equals to DB plus 1. What is DB? That is each entry for these, like, these are what? Unique B, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So for each train and for each B in A dot days,
For
that is
each
for
train.
that train, which days that train is running in Mumbai. Okay. For a particular train, I am checking which days that train is running in Mumbai. For those days, I will increment the count by 1 in the D dictionary. Clear? If there is a train in Mumbai to 02246, which is operating in Mumbai on days Monday and Tuesday, then I will increment the count of Monday and Tuesday by 1. That is the value associated. So Monday M is to 1, Tuesday is to 1. It will be. Understood? Again, say if there is one more train 12259, which operates in Mumbai on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Ma'am,
Then in
I wrote the code.
Okay, I'll see it
just
at the end. Okay.
starting. Okay.
Yeah. See, if there is one more train 12259, it operates in Mumbai on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So for that train, for each B in A dot days. What will be A dot days? This list Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because that A or that train runs on these days. So for each of these days, I will again increment the value by 1. So now Monday becomes 2 after this. Wednesday is 1, Friday is 1. So is this part of the code clear what this for each block is doing? Just updating this
Yes,
dictionary D
Yes,
for station Mumbai. Okay. After it is completed, I am moving that card to pile 2. Okay. Now, line 13, C is an empty list and Y is 0. Okay. So for each B in keys of D, what are the keys of D? Unique days, right?
yes,
Monday, Wednesday, these are the keys. So for each such keys, if Y is equal to D of B, so Y is initially 0. So for any day, if the corresponding value for that key or that day is 0, then you will add that day to list C. Okay, see, you're adding not the count, but the day, B. Okay, B is the day. If Y, this for each block starts here, ends here. Okay, this is the if block. So for every iteration, you will go through 2 if blocks. If Y is equal to DB, that is for first iteration, let's say. If, let's say on Monday, let's say no train goes to Chennai. Okay, I'm sorry, Mumbai. There are no trains working in Mumbai on Monday. So in the first iteration, I will pick B, right? In the keys of D, Monday comes first, Monday, Tuesday, like this. So Monday I will pick. And there are no trains. So was Monday ever updated then? If there are no trains in Mumbai on Monday? Did I ever increment Monday then?
No.
No, ma'am.
No. So Monday is still having 0 value against it, right? So 0 equals to 0 will work. And you will add Monday to the C list. Next, you will check, is Y less than DB? So if this condition is false, like for Wednesday, I know there is a train. Okay, so Wednesday count is 1, let's say. So for that, this condition will be false. But this if, okay, this if I will check, is 1 greater than 0? Yes. So C will be assigned this B. Okay, and Y is what? D of B. That is whatever is the count against that day. If Wednesday has the count against it 1 or 2, whatever it is, it will be assigned to Y itself. So tell me one thing. At the end of execution of this part, what is C containing?
The maximum the day in which there are
the
maximum
train.
number of trains coming to Mumbai.
Day in which there are maximum number of trains coming in Mumbai. Okay. Anyone else? Anything else?
List of all such days.
List of all such days on which maximum number of trains are there.
That's correct.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what is line 19 doing then? Here I am not appending, right? What is this?
Yeah, if Wednesday
Another
was, if Wednesday was 3 trains, C will become Wednesday. Next time Thursday becomes 3 trains. It gets added at 16.
Okay. Now I'm
Then there
just
will be only
asking what is
one day.
line 19 doing? I'm just asking what is line 19 doing?
Initializing the highest other day in which there is the highest number of trains in Mumbai.
So C equals to this box bracket B. What does it mean? Is it appending to C list?
No, initializing.
Storing.
It is storing.
Storing just
That
one
is, it is,
element.
yes. So it is assigning just one element to this C list, right?
Correct.
So tell me which one? Busiest day of the
B.
Mumbai station?
B.
List of
B.
busiest days of Mumbai? Least
Yes.
busy? Obviously, these two are wrong. We can already tell because it's definitely not least. So is it the first only busiest day or is it list of busiest days? Which one?
B.
It depends.
Option
We
B,
have
ma'am.
to see the data set, I think.
Which is this?
No,
Then
there
we
is
have
no
to
need
see
to
the
see
data
data
set.
set. No, no.
A option.
No?
A option, busiest.
I think A option.
Ma'am, C is actually a list, so you cannot assign a value to a list. You will have to assign a list to it.
It is a list. B, I am assigning it in the form of a
Yes,
list.
so B, C is a list, ma'am. Eventually, C is a list then.
No, let's say that C was never, if this part, it never happened. That is, this if block was never true. Then you only come to this if. Okay. And you're not appending anything. You're just assigning this B list to C list. I can assign a list to a separate list. That is possible.
Yes,
I can
ma'am.
assign a list to a different list.
Yes.
So out of A and B, which one? Is it the
B,
busiest
B.
day or is it the list of busiest days?
B, ma'am.
B.
Yeah, ma'am.
Why is it B and why not A?
Ma'am, even though it's a single, if we get a single day, it will be added as a list only. It won't be added as a single day.
Good. Because this is also in the format of a list, right? It's not just an element that I'm assigning. You cannot do that to a list. So it will always be list. Even if there is a single day, it is still in the form of a list. And if there are more than one busiest days, that is, let's say 3 trains leave and that is the busiest day on Monday and Wednesday, then both Monday and Wednesday will come in C list, right?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused in this code. Can you please explain from line 15?
Line? Which one?
15, 15, 15, 1, 5.
15. See, in line 15, it is checking that if y, initially y is 0. Okay. Let's say for the first iteration, if on Monday, okay, keys of D is what? Unique days. Okay. So first day is Monday. Let's say on Monday, there are 2 trains in Mumbai station. Okay. So what is DB? 2.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
So is y equals to DB? First iteration. Is 0 equals to 2? No.
No, ma'am.
So I will go to the next if. Is 0 less than 2? Yes. So what is C currently? C will be Monday. Assign that
Yes,
B to C. And what is Y? Y is updated to 2. Correct.
Yes,
Clear
ma'am.
this much? Now
Yes,
say
ma'am.
next iteration. On Tuesday. Let's say on Tuesday, there are 0 trains. What will happen? Y is now 2. Is 2 equal to 0? No. Is 2 less than 0? No. So nothing. But on Wednesday, let's say there are 4 trains. Okay. In Wednesday, there are 4 trains. So at this point, what is Y? Y is still 2. So is 2 equal to 4? No.
No,
Then
ma'am.
come to this block. Is 2 less than 4? Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now again, C is updated to what now? Wednesday. Not appended. C is updated. So C only contains Wednesday now. And what is Y? 4. Clear? Now,
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Thursday, let's say there are also 4 trains. So now Y is 4. So if I come here in this if block, is 4 equal to 4? Yes. Now you will append this Thursday to the C list. So C list now contains Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. And this, if when I come to it, 4 is less than 4 is false, so I will not do anything. So what is the C list containing? Those days on which there are highest number of trains or the busiest days. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. And what was the reason why you said the option A is wrong?
Option A is wrong because it is not just a single busiest day of the Mumbai station, right? There can be more than one busiest days. Like
And
in
even
this
if it is,
example that I took.
even if it
It
is
will
one
always
day,
return it as even if it is a single day, it is not returning just the day. C is returning a list of days. Even if it is a
okay,
single day, it will be returned in the form of a list. Okay.
okay, good.
That's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
list of busiest days.
Got it. Thank you.
Ma'am, the difference is we have to see the data type also in each option. Or else we
Yeah.
could do.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to check that. Okay, so is this question clear? Should we go to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Okay.
ma'am, if you didn't want it to be like a list, C as a list, then what change we would have to make to the code?
What do you want C as?
Just
If
if
it's
I
not a
want
list.
if I just want the option A to be correct, like if I just want the busiest day of the Mumbai station.
Then you can just do a comparison for Y values. Okay. And for the highest value of DB, you just assign that day to C. So C doesn't have to be instead of it being a list, it can just be a variable that you store the string in. String is the name of the day. Okay.
Got it.
But this is the better way because there can be more than one busiest days. So it's better to do it in a list.
Got it.
Okay. So this is the last question. Okay. The following pseudocode is executed on words dataset. What is words dataset? There is a single word in every card and the part of speech is given, the letter count is given, and there is a sequence number, right? At the end of execution, C captures the number of words with either all letters are distinct. So C has two different possibilities. C captures number of words where either all letters are distinct or at least 3 letters are appearing twice. Okay, the wording is a little confusing here, but C will capture all those number of words where that is every word where all letters are distinct or at least 3 letters have appeared twice in the word. So all such words C will capture. Okay. So what is the correct code fragment? So this code is given, we have to pick the correct fragment. So first C is 0. While table 1 has more rows, I'm picking the first card. So there is some word on the card, obviously. I is a variable which is assigned 1. Okay, initially. And D is an empty dictionary. Now, while I is less than equal to x dot letter count. Letter count is already given in our card. Okay. So for I less than equal to letter count, as long as I is less than equal to letter count, in B we will store what? Ith letter of the word. Okay. Let's say the word is fly in the first card. This is the word. All the letters are distinct. So ideally C should capture it, right? Let's see if it does. I is 1. So what is the letter count of this? 3. So first iteration, 1 is less than equal to 3. Okay. So I will enter. B is having the ith letter. So B in first iteration is what? F. Correct? F.
Yes, ma'am.
If is key D and B. Is B a key of D? D is empty initially. So obviously this is false. I have to create an entry for D. I'm sorry, B. So DB1. That means DB is what? Basically, DB1 will make the D dictionary as F is to 1. Right? Here
Yes.
after this, then you increment I. That is, go to the next letter. Okay. Next letter is what? L. And what is I now? I is 2. So is in second iteration, is 2 less than 3?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
2 is less than 3. So I will again enter. What is B now? L. Right? Is L a key of D? No. So I have to create it. So next entry will be L1. Similarly, now you increment I again and 3 is less than equal to 3. So there will be one more entry for Y. Okay. This is what this while block is doing. Okay. This inner while. Now, for every word, one such D dictionary is formed. Understood? This D dictionary is formed by this inner while. And this outer while is picking every card. And for every card, it is assigning a separate dictionary D. So for every card, I will have one such D dictionary. For every word, I will have one such D dictionary. Yes or no?
Yes.
Which will have the letter counts for every letter in the word. Right? So now this part of the code is missing. So let's check which of the options. First, you tell me one thing. What is the condition that I need? What are the 2 conditions that I need to check? First, let's revise that. First is C will capture if all unique letters, or what is the other condition?
3 letters should have
appeared twice.
At least 3 are appearing twice. Appear twice. Okay. Let's see the first option. So this first option is saying if found is true. Okay.
Ma'am, you should stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Oh.
not visible.
1 second, 1 second. I'll reshare. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So basically, here we are going to form every dictionary for every single word in words dataset. A D dictionary will be formed. Now, what is the missing code? First option C. Here you have to check all the options, no other way. So found is true, A is 0, they're saying. And remember, this is within the outer while, okay? Outer while starts here and ends here. So this code is within the outer while. So found is true, A is 0. For each Y in keys of D, okay, for each Y in keys of D, if dy is greater than 1, then A is incremented by 1. First tell me, what are the keys of D?
The letters.
D dictionary is empty at the beginning of every letter that we are checking, right? Is there only one D dictionary, or is there as many D dictionaries as there are unique words?
As many as the
Dictionaries as there are unique words.
Right. So keys of D is what? The letters, right? The unique letters. If dy is greater than 1, that is, if the letter count of our letter is greater than 1, that is, a letter appears twice or thrice, anything more than 1, it appears more than once, then I will increment A by 1. Else, found will be set to false. Okay. So this I will check for every keys of D. That is, for every letter in D, I'm going to check if that letter appears once or more than once. If more than once, you add 1 to A, increment A by 1, or you set found to false. Now, at the end of this for each block, you are going to check if found means what? If found is true, or A is greater than equal to 3. When will found be true? First of all, tell me, when will found be true?
When a letter is appearing more than once.
more than one.
When a letter is appearing more than once. So if that is, then found will remain true. So it is saying either that or A is greater than equal to 3. Okay. So if either of these things are true, or even if both of them are true, then C will be incremented. But is this the correct condition? A is incremented when?
Yes.
When it is a letter is getting when a letter is getting repeated at least twice, right? That is, more than once it is getting repeated. A is getting incremented when a letter is repeated more than once, and if the letter count is not greater than 1, if it is 1, that is, it is not repeated, then found becomes false. That means if the letter is unique in the word, then found is false. But our question said that C is going to capture all those words where the letters are all unique. So is this one going to count for letters that are unique?
No, ma'am. In the test
Because
line,
here found is true.
If not
Right.
found, it should be written.
Yeah, exactly. So this option is wrong because this is not the condition that we need to check.
Ma'am, I'm not able to understand this. Please repeat this. Option A.
First, tell me what are the two conditions. One condition is C will capture all such words with unique letters, right? All unique letters, no repetitions. So for all unique letters, here, where can I find all unique letters? First, found is true. Now it is saying if a letter gets repeated, that is dy is greater than 1, means repetition is there. Greater than 1 means repetition. So then A is incremented. But if it is not repeated, then found is set to false. So if found is false here, that means no repetition. But this is checking whether found is true or A is greater than equal to 3. But we need found to be true, right? Okay, I don't think you are getting it. How can I tell this in a better way? Okay, let's take an example. For each y in keys of D. Okay, so for that example that we took, fly, this word. Okay. For this word, for each y, what are the keys of D here? F, L, and Y. And corresponding values are what? 1. Because every letter appears only once. Up to this is fine?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the key value pair. Now, check. Firstly, found is set to true, A is set to 0. Okay. So if dy is greater than 1, so for any of these y's, is it going to be greater than 1?
No, ma'am.
Is dy greater than 1?
No,
No.
ma'am.
So found will be false because it will come to the else part, correct? So found is false. That
ma'am.
means found will be false here at the end when we check.
Yes. And
Or
A
it
is
is
not
saying,
greater than 3.
or it is saying A has to be greater than equal to 3. But our condition was what? That at least 3 letters are repeated. Right? At least or at most, what was it? At least 3 letters are appeared at least twice. So here am I checking whether the letters have appeared at least, whether 3 letters have appeared at least twice. How is that being checked? When will A be greater than equal to 3? First of all, if I find a letter that is repeated at least twice, then A is incremented, right? So if I find 3 such letters which have appeared at least twice, then A will be 3, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So this is fine. But is this what we are looking for? This found?
No, ma'am.
This is wrong. This is why this option is wrong.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
found needs to be true. Okay. Found needs to be true here. But we are checking for false. So that's why this option A is wrong. Let's see in option B. Firstly, found is true. A is 0. Again, for each y in keys of D, if dy is greater than 1, that is, if there are repetition, then found is set to false and A is incremented. So I think this is correct. If repetition is there, then found is false. But if all letters are unique, that is dy is not greater than 1 for any of the letters, then found remains true. Correct? So when I check the if condition, it is capturing both our conditions. That is, found remains true when there are no repetitions, when all items are unique in dictionary D, and when A is greater than equal to 3. When will A be greater than equal to 3? When we find at least 3 such letters which have appeared more than once in the word. So is this option correct?
Yes.
I think a lot of people are confused. Tell me which part, what is confusing? Tell me. Do you need me to tell you the options one more time?
The second condition is confusing. At least 3 letters
This
are
one.
appeared at least.
This one, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Look, how am I
What
getting
is-
this? A greater than equal to 3. Just look at line 3. Line 3 is checking what? For every letter, it is checking whether the corresponding value. What is the value? Number of times that letter appears, right? That's what we did storing in the dictionary.
Yes, ma'am.
The key value pair is that for every letter, how many times it has occurred. So if a letter has occurred more than once, that is greater than 1, then A is incremented. And it is checking whether A is greater than equal to 3. That means at least 3 such letters exist which appear more than once.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
clear? And that is our
Yes, ma'am.
condition. See, that is the question. That at least 3 letters are appearing twice. That is more than once. See, this at least is very important. Both places, at least is given. At least here also. At least here also. That means it has to be greater than 1. Understood? So this option is going to be correct. Why? Because found is also going to be checking when it's true. And this is the correct option, that at least 3 letters are there which are appearing at least more than once. So I think B is the correct answer. Should we check the other options too? Let's check them. So found is true and A is 0. For each y in keys of D, if dy is greater than 1, then found is false and A equals to A plus 1. It is saying. What was the previous option? Up to this, it is same. But in else part, it is again placing found to be true. Okay. It is placing found to be true. So A, tell me, what is the difference here in these two options? What is the difference? Anyone can spot what is the difference in these two options?
Ma'am, found is initialized
And can you scroll down?
at the first.
Here we execute, here found is false in line 11.
In line 11, in this option C, you are saying found is false. How?
Yes.
Found will be true. When will found be true? When there are no repetitions. Right? If this dy value is greater than 1, then found is set to false. Otherwise, it is set to true. Right? Is there a difference between these two options? Tell me.
Ma'am, but else will only execute if the if block will not execute.
If the if block will not execute. That means when will the if block not execute?
When there will be the repetition is not happening.
Letters are unique.
Letters are unique. That means every value against a letter is 1. Right? Then found will be true. But in this option also, when there were letters were unique, then also found remained true.
So both options are same, right? The code is the same.
So that's what I'm asking. Do you see a difference? Anyone?
No, ma'am. I think it's the code are same.
I feel like is this a multiple select? Because this option should also be correct. Because I don't see any difference between these two. Found is set to true. Okay. When else will found be true? If dy is greater than 1. So dy is greater than 1, then found is false. That means if dy is 1 for unique, found will remain true. I don't think there is any difference between these two. Let's check option D. Option D is clearly wrong because in the else part, it is forming this A equals to A plus 1. This has to be in the if part, right? Because if there are repetitions, then only I'm increasing A. Correct?
Yes,
this
ma'am.
should be here. So option D is definitely eliminated, but option B and C both are answers, I think. It is given only option B. But I think option C should also be the answer. I don't know if this is a printing mistake or something, but okay. Let me do one thing. I will check with Piyush, sir, if this answer is correct. But I think that both of these should be true. Both of these,
Because
B and C
in
should be the answer.
option C also we are satisfying a condition, right? The letters unique.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is the exact same code. See, only this
Yes,
else
ma'am.
part is added.
No, that's only the addition here.
And this else part will anyways found will remain true if it is unique here
Yes, ma'am.
also. That's why I'm saying I think B and C are both answers, but I will confirm that once. Okay. In tomorrow's class, I will ask sir to confirm you if these two are both answers. But is the code clear? How I'm
Yes,
checking
ma'am.
both the conditions? Any
I
problem?
could see there is a difference between B and C. Could be,
Yeah, okay, tell me. What is the difference?
you see, once the found is set to false in the loop C, it is again set to true again inside the loop, whereas it is not in case of B.
For what? For which condition is that happening? Can you just take an example and tell me? I might be missing something.
I couldn't think of an example, but I could sense, the difference could be that, the found is reset to true in case of C.
But found will be, found will be set to true when? Found will be set to true if, this for each block is ending where? It is ending, this if ends here, this else ends here. So this for each is ending here, right? So for all the keys, I'm checking inside this place only. So for the first letter also, I will check here. If the first letter has, say, count maybe less than 1. Okay, maybe 1. Okay, cannot be less than 1. Maybe the first letter count is 1. So found was initially true and the first letter count is 1, let's say. Then found becomes false here. Or found remains true. Found will remain true if count is 1. Because this condition will not satisfy. It will come to the else part, right? But if I encounter a letter which has count greater than 1, let's say 2, letter count is 2, then found becomes false.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we can have 2 words like ARE, and we can also have a word
Wait. I
ARE.
think I understand this. Wait.
ARE.
That means if there are 2 such letters which have letter count greater than 1. Okay, then what will happen? Firstly, it will set it to false. Then again, it will be set to false. Found. But then again, if I find a letter which has letter count 1,
Yeah.
then it will be set to true.
True, yeah.
So for that also it is counting, right? That is, if there are 2 such letters which has letter count greater than 1, that is repeated. For that also this will increment C. That's why this option is wrong.
It's the between. We got
There is a difference between B and C.
confusion between.
Yeah, that is, see, if I take this example, this is the letter sleep. Okay. So for S it is 1, for L it is 1, for E it is 2, right? I need a different word where there are 2 such pairs, repetition. Anyone think of a word?
Area, ARE.
No, I need 2 such repetitions.
Oh, repetition.
Sleep. SLEEP.
No,
There
this
are
is
2
fine.
E's.
Here E is twice, but I need one more letter that comes twice.
Ma'am, it's okay. It need not be like
Ma'am,
correct according to English
follow.
language. Just
Yeah,
take an
let's just take
example.
a random string. Okay, let's just take a random string. Let's say it is XYY ZWW. This is the string I'm taking. Fine. Let's say this is a word. So X is 1, Y is 2, Z is 1, W is again 2. Okay. Now let's run it in this code. So for X, it is 1. So this if is false. So I will go to else part and found will be set to true. Right? Next, I will pick what? Y. Y is greater than 1, count is 2. So found is set to false. And A is incremented. So A is at this point 1. Again, Z comes. It is appearing only once. So it comes to else part. And found is again set to true. Okay. And then W comes. And it is count is again greater than 1. So found is set to false. Right? And A is now 2. Okay. So at this point, found is false. Fine. Now, let's say if I had one more letter here, P, after this, which is occurring once, then what will happen? Found will be set to what? True? Again?
True.
But is this correct? Should found be true at this point? No. Found should only be true in 2 cases. When all the letters are unique, or at least 3 such letters are there. At least 3 such letters are there where it is repeating. That is more than once it is appearing. But here, see, both the conditions are not satisfied. Yet found is true, and since OR is there, so C will be incremented.
Yes.
Both the conditions here are getting violated. First condition, are all letters unique? No. Y and W are repeating. Second condition, are there at least 3 letters which are getting repeated? There are only 2 letters, Y and W, which are getting repeated. But I say at the end, found is true. And if found is true, then C will be incremented because there is an OR condition here. Correct? So that's why this is wrong. But this thing will not happen in option B, since there is no else part. Understood? Is this
Can
option
you
A?
take the same
Yes,
example
ma'am,
and go
understood.
forward with the B option? Like, can you
Yes,
just
yeah,
repeat
let's
once?
do that. So X, Y, Y, Z, W, W, P. What will this do here? So X is 1, Y is 2, Z is 1, W is 2, and P is 1. Right. For each Y in keys of D, first X. So X is appearing only once. That means if condition is not satisfied. So at this point, found is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Found is true when I saw for X. Now I'm going to Y. Okay. Y is 2. So that is greater than 1. So found is set to false and A is incremented. So for Y, found was false. And at this point, A is 1. Now for Z, check. For Z, is the count greater than 1? No. So found will remain whatever it was before Z. Right. So found was false, it will remain false. Now for W, it is greater than 1. So found is again set to false. So found remains false here also. Found is again false here also. Right. And A is incremented. So A is 2 currently. And for the last one, P is 1. So found is again not updated. Right. Found remains whatever it was in the last one, last iteration. So found was false. Found will remain false. And here it will be false as well as A is what? A is 2. So this condition is also violated. So both conditions are violated in OR. That means C will not be incremented. So this is correct. It is rejecting this string.
For the last letter P that we did, its value is 1. So
but what was the
Acha,
previous count? Previous count was previous found was false.
Acha,
Is
now I
found getting
understood.
updated? Yeah, that is the thing. In the else part, the found was getting updated. That's why
Mhm.
that option was wrong.
The
But here
minute
both,
difference between option
yeah,
B.
exactly. This is a good question, actually. You should practice this one more time. Okay. This is a very good question. Even I missed it. Okay. So I think all the questions are covered in practice. Only 5 questions are there.
Do we get such a question like question 5 in our exams?
Yeah. Definitely you can get. Just be a little mindful. See, first of all, it will be mentioned whether it is an MCQ or an MSQ. Okay. Here it is not given. So that's why I got even more confused, because I thought there can be 2 options can be possible. If it is an MCQ, you can definitely say that, okay, if one option is already I can see correct, then there is no way other options can be correct. Okay. But if it is an MSQ, then you have to be very careful. You have to check using possibilities, all possibilities. I think this type of an example came in a PYQ also in last to last term, I think.
I mean, thinking of such an example like you took would be little difficult
Yeah,
during the
it
exam
can be
time.
difficult in
Yes.
exam time. Yes, definitely. So practice is over. So tomorrow's class, only activity questions are remaining. Okay. And
Yes,
any
ma'am.
question that you have from week 7 and 8, you can ask Piyush sir that question.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. And
Ma'am, can
the
I
person
screen
who,
share that code?
yes. Screenshot. Rest of you can leave if you want. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually it does not work if we use equal to sign. It only works when I use less than x.
Yeah,
Like
and why
y
is
is
it not
less than
using?
x.
Why is it
Maybe
not working for
because
equal to?
maybe because it doesn't consider x afterwards. If it already
Exactly.
considers. Like if I
First
use
of all,
equal to, it doesn't run.
mm,
It shows
mm.
empty.
This is because you are actually doing, see,
Iterating.
are you using the rest function? Yes, you're using the rest function. So this is actually cutting off. So even if it is present, you won't find it. It is cutting it off. Good. Yeah. See, this kind of things are good. If you see a pseudocode and you think that it can be done in another way, it is very good for understanding. Okay. So this one more thing is that that it's not running. One more thing is that if you do this, it is actually not going to help you in cutting off comparisons correctly. We need to cut off the number of comparisons, cut down, but we need to do it in a way that our ultimate goal is preserved. That even if an overlap is present, it can happen that it is missing that overlap because of this. So that overlap should not be missed. If you use a less than equal to sign, it will never miss the overlap because it is checking in the beginning only whether y is less
Actually,
than x.
we can't use less than equal to also. Then also it doesn't work if you use less than equal to.
No, it has to be just less.
Yeah.
For equal to, there will be an overlap.
Yes. It won't consider it afterwards here.
No, it won't. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. So if there is nothing else, we can close the session.
Ma'am, if you have time, I have a question on graded assignment 7, week 7.
Week 7 questions, can you do it tomorrow, please?
Yeah.
I actually have something to join after this.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Tomorrow
much,
you'll have
ma'am.
enough time, you can ask. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.